Right,
we are going live. Hello and welcome to the Blue Tweezer channel with myself, Alan, from the channel as usual, and a happy new year to everybody. Hope 2022 is going to be better than 2021 for you. However good 2021 was for you. We're starting a new Rough and Blue playthrough here, live stream. Of course, we've got Rough Swordsman Wargamer here, my opponent. Hello, Rough.
hello. Hiya. Everybody okay?
Yeah, and let us know you can hear us, both of us, and see us okay. Just checking. We've got a few already in. Private public, hello. Yeah, we had a brief conversation, I think, on Jester's channel yesterday about this, and hope it's more exciting than the Ashes. Yeah, it's a bit of a whitewash, isn't it? Indeed. Brun, don't understand cricket. Well, yeah, don't worry about it for the moment, because England is doing really badly, so we don't talk about it. Just
Nothing to see here. Move along, please.
Kind of, yeah. slightly blind. Tony's in the house. Hey. And crossing obstacles, great. Wonderful. So we've got a little bit. We're a bit core here, but maybe we could get a few more people in. So I'm just going to send out a few of my little posts to see if we can get a few more. Bear with me while we do that.
Try the same.
And see if we can rustle up some Tweezerati. And one more. And that's all done. There's several ways of doing this sort of stuff automatically, but don't seem to.
No, it never works that way.
Not as tech savvy enough to do that. Good. Okay. Well, I've done that anyway now. So yes, Carl, hello. Beat Cafe, Flip Movie Maker, and Camp. So, Camp, you're in. You're going to give us some rules help. You're going to give us some rules help on Red Storm, just like you did with Death Valley, hopefully. Right. So yes, we are doing GMT's Red Storm, part of the Downtown series. We spent a little bit of time, just a minute or two, just doing some prep for this. Me and Rough. It's been a bit of a actually sort of setting up a scenario from scratch with someone who doesn't know the rules or doesn't know the rules very well at all, or hasn't set one up before. Has been quite fun, shall we say? But it's taken a little time.
Tell them how long it took.
I think it's about 5 hours. I think
5.5 hours.
Yeah, trying to do it sort of long distance over Discord and stuff. It's a bit.
But it was fun.
Convoluted, but we got there anyway. We are playing scenario RS4, which is known as Opening Rounds, which you'll see the map in front of you, hopefully, and that I'll just shuffle it around. This is only a little bit of the map. It's quite a restricted scenario. So if I look around, this is the whole map for Red Storm. And we're kind of taking a sort of sliver on the sort of central eastern part. I'm going to run through anyway what we've done for the setup, and then we'll crack on. But Rough, you're going to be learning the actual play now, live, so no pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure on me either.
No, you just say you had a really bad student. That's all you have to say.
Well, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good. Okay. So, right. So, air war over central Germany, 1987. So, Red Storm kind of comes with a set of scenarios which have a timeline, and then you can run a whole campaign as well. So, this is Opening Rounds. Is the sort of first exchanges in the air, not. First exchanges with sort of air-to-ground involvement. So the earlier ones are about reconnaissance and fighter sweeps and things like that. But this is the first sort of integrated scenario. The playing area is defined by these red markers. So anything within these red markers, including the red markers, is in play. And then there's the side of the board on the eastern side here as well. And the situation is that we have ground forces opposing each other. We will. I'm going to be teaching camp this time. Okay, I hope I do a good job then. So we have a dust up happening on the ground between the 11th Armoured Cavalry Regiment on the West German side of the border. The border is this kind of dotted line with a grey background to it, all the way through West Germany and East Germany. So the blue markers here are the 11th Armoured Cavalry Regiment, their various components, so mech, armour, HQ, artillery, supply, etc. And in these games with Red Storm, effectively all they really are is targets, but they can bite back. But they don't move around. We don't do any particular ground. There is some ground movement, but it won't be in this scenario. And opposing them are two Guards motorised rifle divisions. The 39th, which is in the north, this kind of area, and in the south is the 57th. So two Guards, and they've got very similar components of artillery, armour, mech, HQ, and supply. So you are looking, of course, my screen, not Rough's.
Thank goodness. I'm scurrying along trying to finish off my preparation.
I'm not going to assume that you were following last year's Elusive Victory playthrough with myself and Jordan McMullen, which is the same system, although this is a little bit more sophisticated as it's in the 1980s, late 1980s rather than the late 1960s, early 70s. And Arab-Israeli, whereas this is sort of the serious frontline central Germany. So there's a lot more to this, but the basic game is pretty much identical. And as you can see, these ground forces are there. Also, we have this white line with these red arrows, which is the front line, the current front line between the forces. So there's been a little bit of an excursion down the south. From the Soviets and up in the north, but it's fairly static at the middle, and that's relevant for certain housekeeping or restrictions for aircraft that we have. Now, in the Vassal module, we also have a couple of other screens. One is the planning screen, which is effectively the map taken out, and normally in the game you would be scribbling on it to plan your routes, etc., and any hidden information. And then there's the hangar, which actually doesn't exist in the main game, which is where you'd put your aircraft if they're, if they're somewhere else, or their counters need to be somewhere else, or they're on the ground, or whatever.
Can I interrupt? Sorry,
you can.
To say I'm going to try not looking at, because I keep looking at chat in case there's any people chatting while you're talking.
Yes.
But I'm going to try not to look at your map because
Indeed.
it shows me your things are going to happen. So I'm trying not
that's
to
right. So and in the Vassal module, you can either put secret stuff in your planning map, which if Rough looks away, I will show.
Oh yeah, I've got my eyes closed. I'm not on it anyway. I'm on the technical.
That's here. Let me zoom out so you can see. And these little arrow kind of counters are all about the bombing flight paths which have been programmed and the various targets I have to deal with. Also, there's the hangar, which is here, which is the aircraft that I'm going to be using. And I won't go through them because I want to talk about because they need to be discovered. They need to be detected and visually identified by Rough.
Go on, tell them what you got. Go on, tell them.
No, I won't. Okay, so and the idea is that each of us has randomly selected 4 of these ground targets, these ground forces counters as targets. So that was randomly, and we've got to deal with them. So if you look on my planning, you'll see 4 markers here, which correspond to 4 of the markers on the board, but of course Rough doesn't know who they are, and Rough's got 4 of my 11th Armoured Cavalry Regiment units as targets, and I don't know what they are either. So that's all nice and secret. I'll just go through the setup, and it will kind of define exactly what's going on here. So in the game, there's actually two sequences of play, and the first one is before you even do anything, which is the planning, the scenario setup. So at the start of the scenario setup, which is we've done all this, so don't worry. Here's what we've done. Here's what we've done earlier. We have a weather phase, and the weather phase we determined that there was haze on the deck. So there are actually 5, but effectively 4 altitudes in the game. Deck, which is close to the ground as you can possibly be. Low, medium, and high altitude. And it's saying at deck altitude there is some haze. Now normally that's not a big deal. However, actually it does affect electro-optical guided munitions. Things like sort of the sort of paveway bombs and stuff like that. The electro-optical guided missiles and bombs, which both sides of us could have, and we had to roll to determine that. But that's the weather we've got. Now that can change because there is a random events phase in each game turn, except for the first game turn. So weather can change, but at the moment there's haze on the deck. Then we went through a ground planning phase, which is where we put out our ground units, but there are other ground units, not just the ones I've already mentioned. There are also early warning radars, surface-to-air missile batteries, and AAA anti-aircraft batteries as well. So those have been set up. Now they can be set up either located or unlocated. If they're unlocated, they're hidden. If they're located, then they're on the board. And what you'll see from mine is that you'll see some, and I'll zoom in to show you, you'll see some faded counters. And these are some of those SAM early warning or AAA systems which are hidden. So Rough can't see these, but I can see my own, but he can't see mine. Also on Rough's map, he would have made, the Vassal module calls it make invisible, has got the same on the other side. So those have been placed as well. There are also dummy radars, which are pretend SAMs, which are on as well. There are anti-aircraft batteries. Also, there are radar equipped anti-aircraft batteries as well around. Early warning radars, as I've said. And then those are all placed, and we placed those. Then we have what's known as the ISR phase, which is the intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance phase, which we roll on a table, and to find out whether any of this stuff, hidden stuff, has been uncovered by the other side. And I think we rolled on it on the table, and from memory, you did rather well. You had an exceptional intelligence condition, and I had a poor one, so I didn't see very many of yours, but you did see quite a few of mine. That was the next phase. After that, we then do what's known as a ground deployment phase, which is everything that's unhidden we then place on the board, which we then did. Then we have a raid planning phase. So we've done all the stuff on the ground. We then go to the raid planning phase, which is we plan what was going on in the air. So we, in this case, have to dice roll to see what aircraft we get. And then for any bombing flights, we would need to plan the flight path, which is what you saw on my planning sheet. And again, Rough's got his as well. At that point, for this scenario, we rolled dice to see the sequencing of the raids on each side. And it turned out that I went first. So my raids will be coming on during turns 1, 2, or 3. And Rough's will be coming on turns 8, 9, and 10. Now, the fact that Rough's learning this is probably a good thing to do, actually, that he'll see what I'm doing with the aircraft before he has to do something with his aircraft. And then, so we've done all this planning. We've added a couple of other things known as rally points, and they are on the screen. Again, they're kind of faded, and I'm pointing out one now, and there are a couple more. These are useful for rallying your flights of aircraft if they become disordered, which is quite a usual occurrence as a part of air-to-air combat. We also planned what's known as safe passage corridors. If I get my planning map, you'll see mine. It's the green, the track of green markers. And what's that about is that there are, it's for your own surface-to-air missile batteries. If they see a friendly aircraft flight within 4 of somebody they want to fire at, they will not fire at the enemy, just safety reasons. However, if you fly down the corridor, up or down the corridor, which is a single hex corridor, like a tunnel, effectively, at a particular altitude, at a particular speed, the SAM batteries know that you must be friendly, therefore they can fire. So it's like it allows them to fire on the enemy when you are within 4. So I've got one of those. You can see mine, and then Rough's got one planned on his side of the front as well. Once we've done all of that, and that took a little bit of time, we have what's known as the SEAD phase, which is suppression of enemy air defences phase, which is effectively air defence suppression done before the scenario starts. So we rolled on that, and I think we got average, both of us, didn't we? We were average results, which allowed us to attack SAM early warning and anti-aircraft installations a certain amount, depending on what we rolled, and see if we could destroy them or suppress them. So that happened, and the results was, I think, Rough, you actually completely, you destroyed one of my Hawk SAM batteries and suppressed a couple more. I suppressed your early warning radar, and also your fire can, which is the radar guided anti-aircraft, and also 2 of your SAMs which were located. Of course, you can only do this to the ones you know are there. So this is from the ISR table. You get to uncover some of these, and then you get to fire at them at the SEAD phase. So that's what we did there. And these radar suppressions here will last for a number of turns, I think there's a variable number. I've got labels on mine. I'm not sure I can see the labels on yours, Rough. So for how long they last for a number of turns. Okay. Then we had an early warning phase, which we both rolled on. These phases, ISR, SEAD, and early warning phase, the scenario tells you which sides, if any, actually roll on these. And for this scenario, both sides do, all 3. Roll for early warning, and the early warning is the capability of you to spot the incoming raid. So again, we rolled, and I think you had an average warning, which meant that I had to place what's known as an ingress hex within 2 of the actual ingress hex. So this is where my aircraft are going to come in, and then particularly the bombing raid, the bombers themselves. And I got a minimal warning, which meant that Rough had to do the same thing, but within a 4 hex variability. around the actual one. So so that was done, and finally we got to the air deployment phase, and this is kind of where we are really here, is that we place aircraft on the board, or if they're not on the board, if they're about to come in on the first turn, you have to place them just off the board, if you like, next to the ingress hex. So I'm going to be doing that, because of course Rough's aircraft aren't going to appear for 8, 9 and 10. Now, what aircraft do we have? So the aircraft are split into roles. There's 3 roles on each side, and there'll be either two, I think it's 4 flights per role, or possibly 5 in your case, Rough, for your bombing flights. And each counter is a flight with a number of aircraft in. I have 3 roles, so I've got roll, not as a roll, ROLE, not as a dice roll. And so I have some CAP, Combat Air Patrol. I have some SEAD, so that's Suppression of Enemy Air Defences roll, and then I've got the bombers. Okay, so 3 of those. Rough has slightly different, so you've got the SEAD and the bombers, but you also have close escorts. You don't have a CAP. Okay, so your bombers are escorted rather than just a combat air patrol roaming around trying to shoot things down. So you will see those 3 roles. They have particular restrictions and things they have to do. Only the bombers will be doing the bombing. The SEAD aircraft will be able to fire at SAMs and AAA and early warning radars to suppress them or kill them, and the CAP will be flying around trying to shoot things down. Okay, and opposed to that with Rough, bombers again doing the same thing, SEAD doing the same thing. Close escort will be wandering around the bombers. I think you've got a 4 hex. I think it's a 4 hex leeway of being round the bombers, that you have to stay with them, but essentially you're doing air-to-air duties, but only in a restricted area. You have to follow the bombers around rather than just wandering around the board. Okay, so I've got to deploy my aircraft on the edge of the board.
Before you do that,
yes.
Tweez, sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
The safe passage counters,
safe passage,
you can't make them invisible.
No, so you need to put them onto the planning map instead.
Ah, right. Have I done that already? So much stuff.
I think you would have done. They're the green ones.
Yeah. But as you say, because they're not invisible, there's no point in putting them on the.
Yeah, you don't want to show where your safe passage corridor through to the opponent.
Belay that. Yeah.
Okay. So. Right. Just one other thing I want to check is looking at the surface to air and early warning and AAA batteries. There's a type, of course. So as you see, these ones are Patriots. Yeah, you know, the famous Patriots. Anti-aircraft missile systems, long range. They have a radar which you can turn on or off. At the moment, they are off. There's an early warning radar here, which is on. You can see the on marker. Now these, unless they're located, which is where you can see these Patriots, you may see other faded, which are unlocated. If they turn their radar on, they will be represented in the game. Not necessarily, not by their actual counter, but by what's known as a SAM warning counter. So those will be being put on the map as these things become seen. Right, so what I want to do is, I just need to place my aircraft. Now each flight has effectively 2 counters in the game. They have the identified counter and the unidentified counter, and each counter has 2 sides, and those sides are undetected or detected. It's very critical in this game. You get the difference between identified and detected. They are 2 different states. Detected can be is effectively the other side has seen that there's something there. There's some aircraft, and they can take actions against them. Undetected means that the other side has not seen them or is unable to see them at the moment, or be unable to pinpoint them. Identified is that actually somebody on the opposition side has actually spotted the aircraft by sight. And unidentified, of course, is not. Actually, you'd think that identified would be better than being detected, but that's not actually the case. Being identified doesn't actually mean that much. In game terms, it's interesting because you actually get to see what's actually there as far as what aircraft they actually are. But detected is the big thing. Now, detection and undetection can flip backwards and forwards throughout the entire game. So you can become detected, then undetected, then detected again, then undetected. Once you are visually identified, you are permanently visually identified. But of course, you can be visually identified but undetected. So that we know that there was some aircraft and they were of a particular type, but we're not quite sure where they are anymore. They're somewhere in the vicinity, but we can't pinpoint them. So just getting those two states, and really detection is the important thing to focus on. Now, as far as the early warning, part of the early warning that we rolled meant that if I had any flights which are at high or medium altitude, when they came on the board, they would be detected. And I think with Rough, it was low. It's just high, I think. So I'm going to be putting, ignore that Hawk guy, that's the guy that got destroyed. I just put him off the board. So let's go to my hangar, and who am I putting out to start with? So,
I should be looking at this, should I?
No,
I should be
look at this. Don't look at
no,
this.
I should reply to private public. He's been a bit flippant.
Is he? Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, he's not taking it seriously.
Play beach volleyball shirtless. I really don't. I don't think you want us to do that.
I can't get that image out of my head now.
Yeah, if you haven't had dinner yet, that would be that you don't want to. You know, or if you've had dinner, actually, if you just had dinner, you wouldn't. No, yeah. Nothing. Yeah. No. So you can see my hangar on the board at the moment. So the guys on the left, there's a group of 8 counters, which are 4 flights. These are the cap guys. The 4 in the middle, sort of more vertically arranged, is my SEAD. And then the guys on the right are the bombers. Now, the counters have a designation of what the actual flight is, what's in them. They also have a altitude, which is in the top right hand corner. They have a call sign, a bit like Top Gun, and also they have a suit, like a card suit, in the middle. There are only 3 of those. Harry, the airfield of your hometown is closed. That would be either Bad Hersfeld or Fulda, because they're too close to the front line. There are no aircraft there, and they don't want anybody to land there, because I think they would be in artillery range, so they closed the airfields. So this is the identified counter. If I flip it over, that is the undetected side of the identified counter. I'll flip it back. Now next to it is another counter here, which I have cross-linked. So these counters represent the same flight. But this is the unidentified counter. And again, it has a reverse side, which is an undetected side. Oh, Stiggo's here. Rotters. That's very nice, isn't it? Happy New Year to you too. Rotters, indeed. So Harry's in Fulda. Oh, okay. Damn it. I better look after this place then. Rough, you might have a new target there. If he's we somebody in the chat who's actually from Fulda, which is on my side of the border. So yes, this is the undetected side. So as they come in on the board, they will be unidentified. So we will be using these numbered counters instead of the real ones. Okay. So again, I'd need to place these. So what I will be doing on turn 1, and I need to refer to my planning map, which I will take off the board so that it's not interfering with stuff, so I can just reference
I just
what
want
the
to
hell
say
I'm
hi.
doing.
Just want to say hi to Stigler because I had it on mute when I said Happy New Year to
Oh,
Stig. So
okay.
yeah, sorry, I'm chatting away and I'm on mute because I'm coughing. That's what I'm doing. It's still got a bit of a cough. Carry on. Sorry.
That's all right. So I'm going to bring these aircraft in. And there is facing in this game. And so we need to control S and control A. So and our other guys. Oops, so actually those need to be flipped over. And these come on at, I think they're going to be coming on low. So climbing is a control E, so I'll just bring those up to E. So they're not detected as they come in. And we'll also be bringing these two guys. Okay, that's what's coming in to start off with. So not a lot of information there. Again, these guys will be low. Right, let's zoom out a bit here so we can see where they're coming in. These are my aircraft that will be coming in on turn 1. So that's the air deployment phase.
I can't look yet. I can't have a look yet.
You can look. You can look at the main board. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. So now there's the option. Each of us has the option to activate any AAA concentrations or SAM or early warning units. So I am going to be turning on my Patriots here. Actually, no, not that one. That one. Yeah, I'll turn on one of my Patriots. That's fine. And that's it for the moment. So over to you. If you want to turn on any of your... actually, I shouldn't do that. What I should do... oh, no, it's already seen, so that's fine, yeah. Yeah, I've done right. So now you can turn on any of your radars which aren't suppressed. If they're hidden, then you place on the board a SAM warning counter.
Now, at the moment, is there any benefit to that?
Yeah, so your SAMs have a certain range, depending on what type they are. And if I'm too far away, then probably not. Although in the sequence of play, you get to turn. So this is an initial turn on or off. You get to turn on or off normally at the end of the turn. There is a way you can do it halfway through the turn. But during the turn you will be able to acquire targets, which is not at the same time as you turning your radar on. Although you can do the two together, it's known as quick acquisition, but it means your acquisition is not as good. Your capability is reduced when you do that.
Well, let's keep it simple. I'm learning. So
I don't think you need to turn any on.
No, I was thinking that the only one that's got a sort of range of 16 is the SA-15. Thank goodness for these cards, by the way, they're brilliant. So I don't think I will. The thing I want to ask, though, because you've obviously got some bombing raids going on.
Yes.
And you've got a flight plan.
Yes.
But you haven't sort of piled them all on top. Are you going to sort of feed them in one at a time?
Well, so the ingress is only for the bombers.
Yeah.
You can put in the others anytime you like.
Right. But you haven't sort of piled up your bombers, that's what I'm saying. Would that be it? You don't do that. So
you are always able to enter or maneuver with your bombers within 2 hexes of your flight path.
Right.
Okay. So you don't have to stick, dead center onto.
Unless you're going down a safe passage tube.
Sorry, say that again.
They're going down a safe passage.
If they want to be on the safe passage and they want to not cause your SAM batteries to have a problem, then they have to be right on the corridor at the right height at the right speed, which is usually 3. I think yes.
Right.
Okay.
So I don't think there's any point in me turning any of my SAMs on yet. Radar.
I don't think it's probably worth it. No. Okay. So we'll go quickly through the sequence of play before I do anything. So we've now finished the setup sequence. So that's the first sequence of play. You go through once and that's it. You're ready to play.
OG's here, by the way. Yep. Hello, OG.
Oh yeah. Hi.
Yeah.
Sorry, missed you there.
I know. You wanted to have a look at this.
Yeah. Right, so the first thing we normally do of a turn is a random events phase, but you don't do that in turn 1. So we ignore that. That's just rolling on a table. Then we have what's known as a jamming phase. Now this will be the phase not appearing in this film. So that is... the jamming phase is all about standoff or spot jamming. So these are dedicated aircraft that basically wander around behind the airspace, the contested airspace, and just chuck lots of noise, radio noise, at the enemy. Neither of us have any of these aircraft, so we can just ignore this completely. So the jamming phase will never do anything in this particular scenario. I know it's a learning phase, learning game, but essentially what they do is in this phase you effectively put like an arrow marker where you're pointing your jamming signal at, and then you move. They move normally, etc. But if you ever turn, you kind of spoil it, and then you have to put it back, or you can vary it, so you can put it at different angles. So that's what you do in the jamming phase, but we're not going to be doing any of that. Right. Then we have what's known as the detection phase. Now this is a big phase in the game, and detection is, as I said before, a real large part of the game play. So there is a detection table, and you roll on it for several sources of detection. The first one is the big one, which is your general detection system that you have, your early warning, your AWACS, your sort of sighting systems, everything, all the intelligence, pretty much. Now you have a detection level in the game, and as it is for this where is it? Where's the thing? Is it? Oh yeah, there it is. The game status. So we've set that up already here. We actually have, so we're actually in the 16th of May, 0600 hours. We've got the haze on the deck. This detect, you either go from A, the best, to F, the worst. The Soviets have a current detection capability of B, and the NATO has D. I think it's because of the kind of surprise thing going on here. So with this general detection capability, you effectively roll for each enemy undetected flight, and you attempt to detect it. Now I'm not actually on the board yet, so we won't actually do anything in this phase on the first turn. But you will go through and you will roll for each one. and depending on how good you are, it's easier on the dice roll or not. There's a detection table. After that, you can get your early warning systems to also spot within the range of your early warning radar. You can also then get your aircraft who have airborne radar in the nose. They could try and detect aircraft as well, usually in a shorter range. And that's what you do. One side does it, the other side does it. It's kind of simultaneous, but it's not. One doesn't really affect the other. So that's the detection phase. Once you've gone through the detection phase, you have the movement phase, and the movement happens in impulses. So you roll a dice to see who has the initiative. That person then chooses if they're going first or second. You then pull what's known as initiative chits. Now, depending on how many flights you have on the board, if you have 10 or less, you pull from the small chit cup. If you have more than 10, then it's the big chit cup or the large chit cup. And that will tell you how many flights you must activate, and you must do whatever you're doing with those flights. Once you've done that number, the opponent then pulls the chit out. Now, of course, because I'm the only one with aircraft on at the moment, I'll be just doing the movement anyway. But the movement phase includes things like combat, bombing, all that kind of stuff happens in movement. Once the movement phase is over, everybody's actually activated all of their flights. You then have a fuel phase. Now, fuel in this game is marked, but it's a little odd. Normally, if you can fly at 2 speeds in the game, combat and dash. If you fly at combat, you get a certain, depending on your aircraft and how high you are, you get a certain movement capability, and you have to fly at that speed, number of movement points, which is a hex usually, but turning, etc. I'll go into that while I'm actually moving, or one less. Or you can go at dash, which is full speed. You only actually use up a fuel if you use the dash throttle. If you're flying combat, you don't actually use the fuel up on the aircraft. I know you do, but effectively significant fuel is not used, so the number doesn't decrease. Also, if you are in an air-to-air combat, you will use a fuel as well. Okay, and if you run out of fuel, then bad things can happen if you go and try and land again. So you try and conserve things, so don't go dashing around all over the place. So that's a fuel phase where you mark that off. Then you have what's known as the SAM location phase. So with the ISR phase we did in the setup, we spotted some SAMs. Okay. Now when SAMs turn their radar on, what's placed on the board is a thing called a SAM warning counter. So the radar that's coming off the SAM unit is seen. What then happens is that aircraft who have what's known as a radar warning receiver, so that's effectively, like the tone in the ear, depending on how good that technology is, they have the ability to actually spot or actually find exactly where that SAM battery is, and that then becomes located, and then the battery counter comes onto the board instead of the SAM warning. And this is what happens in the SAM location phase. We then have a track phase. Track phase is the opposite of the detection phase. This is where detected units become undetected, depending on a dice roll and where and what height, etc. they're at. We then have the SAM acquisition phase, which is where SAMs attempt to acquire targets. These are flights flying over. Now, these could be undetected. It's just if they're undetected, they're much harder to acquire. It's just that the SAM battery has picked it up, whereas your general detection system hasn't registered them. But that's where the acquisition happens. You are either not detected, partially, or fully detected, fully acquired. Not detected, even I'm getting them switched up. But acquisition is all about SAMs. Detection is all about a sort of general view of the of aircraft. We finally then have an admin phase where you can turn your radars on and off. Lots of other things. You can recover disorder. You can enter. You remove markers. You can do your what else can you do? You can land or take off, that kind of stuff. So, and also anybody who's parachuted, as in somebody's been shot down, you find out what's happening at that point. So that's the sequence of play. You just go round and round and round and round on that until the end of the game is when either both sides have gone, right, we're not going to be fighting anymore, we're just going home, or at least one side leaves the board and the other person doesn't want to play anymore, and we roll for recovery, and that's the end of the scenario. So that's a potted version of the sequence of play. So let's crack on with what I'm doing here, because I've been talking a hell of a lot and you haven't seen any gameplay, which is probably really tedious for you guys. So let's crack on with it, shall we? So, and this first game turn is going to be fairly easy. Not much is going to happen here. So, random event phase doesn't happen on turn 1. Jamming phase never happens. Detection phase, there's no aircraft on the board, so nothing happens there. Then it's over to movement phase. Now, Rough, you don't have any aircraft, so there's no point in rolling for initiative and picking jets. I'll just move my stuff. So each type of aircraft has a speed which is representative of two states. One is its altitude. The higher up you are, the faster you tend to be able to go. And then also whether they are clean or laden. Laden means they're carrying things like bombs, okay, which means it slows them down. They're not as aerodynamic. So that will give you a particular movement point value for that that flight, and if that flight uses dash throttle, then they get a better number. Now this is all on these cards, these aircraft cards. I'll just grab one random one to show you on the screen. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. I don't know if the focus is going to go on there, but there's a little table. These cards don't come with the game. They're available. I can never remember where they're available from, but I think they're advertised on Board Game Geek, which gives you a little table there, which is the various altitudes, and then whether you're clean or laden, and then also whether you're going dash or combat. Okay, these cards are really useful because in the normal game you've got a table which gives you all the information in rows about all the aircraft, whereas these cards are individual, so you can pick out the card because you don't have to worry about all the other aircraft that you don't have for the scenario. So this is very, very nice. So just looking at my aircraft I have here, did have the cards. I do have the cards in front of me now. So I'm going to be moving here. Now, so these guys are at low altitude, and whether they're clean or laden, I'm not going to say because Ruff will find out. So let's see what these guys are doing. I need my hangar up because I need to refer to who's who. Right, they are there. I'm at low altitude.
I'm looking at my Vassal map, so you're okay.
Yeah. Now, movement in this game, you can move by hex or by hex side. So a hex side is actually somewhere you can live. So, for example, here, this guy's moving. He's moving 1, and he actually moves onto the hex side. 2, 3. This guy will also move 1, 2, 3. This chap will move 1, 2, 3. Oops, I moved both of them. And 1, 2, 3. So as you know, you can actually end your move on a hex side. And for these guys, they'll also 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Yeah, not particularly exciting, but there you go. That's my movement. All right. So that's my movement phase over. Ruff doesn't get one yet. So we're on to then the fuel phase, and I marked down any fuel I used. Did I use any dash throttle? And I can do that. In the Vassal module, each of these counters has a log, which you can pull up off the menu from the counter, and you can do that. You can put that kind of information in. Okay, so after the fuel phase is the SAM location phase. So are there any SAM warnings on the Soviet side? So have you just turned the radar on? And the answer is no, so nothing happens. The track phase, nobody is detected yet, so there's nobody to lose track of. Stacking limit is as many flights as you like, as long as they are opposing flights. So I suppose 2. You can't stack in the same hex as one of your own aircraft. Now, generally, that's really a sanity thing. So you don't want to confuse yourself, for starters. But it just makes, actually, on the table, it starts to make things a little bit unwieldy if you're stacking anyway. So they say no stacking. So the track phase done. There's nothing to lose track of. SAM acquisition phase. So do any of your SAMs, Rough, want to try and acquire any of my aircraft? I think they're probably out of range. Hello, Rough. You there?
I've unmuted myself now. Yes,
there
right.
we go. Okay.
Sorry, I've got this cough still with the lurgy I had, and I didn't want to be coughing all the time. So I've muted. But sorry, I'm talking away, and yeah, I'm muted.
Chattering. Hope you'll be listening to a bit of this.
I am listening.
Oh, good. That's right. I'd just like to mention, actually, we've got 25 viewers at the moment, which is something else. Well done, everybody. Yeah. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm out of range.
You're out of range. Okay. No problem.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So normally you would have had to have your radar on to do this, although you can do what's known as a quick reaction, a quick acquisition, which is you turn your radar on and try and acquire immediately, and you get a negative modifier to be able to acquire in this phase. There's a third thing you can do with SAMs. We'll come back to it, but there's a thing called it's called LOAL. I'm trying to remember what the acronym. There's loads of acronyms in this game, which is all official acronyms. Of course, it's all Air Force acronyms and stuff, which is lock on after launch. So what that effectively means is you actually launch a missile in the general vicinity of the target, and then when it gets close to the target, you then turn the SAM radar on, and hopefully you'll acquire it and the missile will hit. That's quite dodgy. That's got a very big negative, but you can do it. Anyway, so that's SAM acquisition. So we're on the admin phase now. So again, I don't think there's too much more to do here, but I will do one thing. And I wonder if I've... I wonder where they've gone. Sorry, just talk amongst yourselves, actually. I have missed out.
Sorry, I can't pronounce.
I've missed off my dummies. I don't know.
Right.
Did you get your dummy counters? Oh, okay. So something we missed. Even with the 5 hours, we still missed something.
I'm just saying that there's a chap whose apologies, I can't pronounce your name, but he says it's on his wish list, but it's too complex. It is a complex game. It is crunchy. But
once you're in it, it's a game that you will need to play several times to kind of click with. Once you click with it, it's good stuff. But yes, absolutely, it's not. I wouldn't say it's not for the faint-hearted, but you know, it's it is complex. You got to put some serious time into it, indeed. So Ralph, you start with 2 dummy flights. I'll start with 3. So the dummy flights are just a generic counter,
right?
But they don't mean that they're not an actual flight. They're a shadow. They're a radar echo or something like that. So this is to confuse your opponents.
they're not assigned to certain tasks.
No. They're just things that just confuse.
So how do you know which ones are the undiscovered and the dummies? We could have just
the dummy is just another generic flight counter. So
there is a dummy one, is there?
No, there's nothing that's called dummy. You just use one of the others. Okay, so it looks like all the others, but you know it's a dummy, but I don't. Okay.
I have to send you the flight log and say this is a dummy, yeah?
Yes, indeed, that's right. And unfortunately, I've forgotten to do it. It's your generic flights. Generic flights under markers. Generic flights.
Gotcha. Right. So we'll just have. Got to make sure I've not picked it as well.
Yes, that's the thing. Suddenly realised.
Let's put that over there. Right. 3 of them I've got. Yes, you say?
You have 2. I have 3.
Sorry. Right.
So sorry. Just
making sure they are not already picked. No, I think that one's all right. Okay.
Where's my hanger? Right. Let's just turn those over. So what I can now do in the admin phase is I can generate dummies. So any flight that's in the air that is unidentified and undetected, you can actually sit a dummy with them. Okay, and then you act just like a flight with that dummy. You go wherever you like. But of course, it isn't actually a flight. Now, if the flight is detected, then you remove the dummy. But they can always come back. So they're kind of a utility. You don't eliminate a dummy. You just take it off the board and you can put it back in another admin phase. So if I just...
So I'm not looking at your board now.
No.
Right. Okay. You're doing my own. Do dummies.
Okay, I've put my dummies on. Okay, so that's admin. I say you won't use your dummies yet anyway, because you've got no real aircraft to generate them from.
You've just plopped them onto one of your other flights, have you?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and you know which is which. Now, what you can do in the game is you can switch your generic designation from one generic flight to another for your real flight. So as you place a dummy, you could actually switch your real flight to be associated with your dummy rather than the other one, and so the other one becomes a dummy. So you can confuse further. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to. No, not at the moment.
If you want to do that, it can. Yes, especially using Vassal and stuff, it can be a bit. Whoa. Anyway, that's I think the first admin phase. So we've done turn 1. Well done, everybody. Success. So let's make it turn 2, shall we? We actually have a phase window as well here, don't we? So we can do that. Oh, that's kind of what's happened there. It's kind of screwed up the.
What have you done?
Yeah, Vassal didn't like that. Yeah. Sorry, the screen went a bit wobbly. So turn 2, we're on to the random event. So the random events are on the back of card 2, is it? Player aid card 2. There are 5 player aid cards in this game, 4 of which are fold out. So there's a lot of tables in this game. So on the back of card 2, there is a random events scenario. So for everybody, that's what it looks like. So do you want to roll 2d10 to see what we get, Rough?
You want me to do it? Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
well,
you don't.
Get you into the game.
No, I'm petrified.
Yeah,
It's.
I
I'm
think.
trying to read the rules. I'm trying to read them, but I can't keep up with the game, of course. So right, 2d10, yeah.
2d10, yes.
Here we go. 5.
A 5. A 5 is. Oh, this is good for you.
Oh right.
Actually, not yet. It would be good for you. Okay, it's known as Warsaw Pact QRA, which is Quick Reaction Flight. What this means is it's a scramble. It's a fighter scramble. However, you need to have a detected NATO flight east of the front line. So I'm not east of the front line, and you haven't detected anyway, so it doesn't do anything. Okay, so this will be good later on in the game. It gets you some cap basically.
Right.
All right, but nothing happens now.
Right.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So that's that done, and you'll see that a lot with the random events. Is that quite often they're not relevant when you actually roll them.
They're
quite fun. Yes, indeed. They can be quite fun. Okay, so random events, jamming, no jamming. Detection phase. So the detection phase is all you, because you haven't got the aircraft, so I can't detect anything. So you can try and detect any of these flights. Okay.
Right.
Hold on. Should be. He should be high. They all should be level. They should be low. Okay, so we look at the detection table, which is the front of player raid card 2.
God, flipping heck, hold on. Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I love games with lots of tables and charts, but not when you're sitting at a computer playing Vassal. I tell you.
I know. Yeah, it's difficult to change the focus, isn't it? Yeah. Your detection level is B, which is pretty good.
Yep.
A is the best. So you can try and detect any of these flights. You just pick them in any order, and you roll against the B column of the detection level, and this is the detection table.
I did a question when this came up, and it was probably just the way the rules are written about detection. I probably can't find it now. I should have. It says you can only do it once for each aircraft.
Yes.
But it was written like you could only do it for one aircraft, but it's not. No. That doesn't.
You do it for each aircraft. However, if you're doing early warning radar or aircraft airborne radar, they can only try and detect one aircraft.
Right.
Okay. So
yeah, I thought it's just maybe it was late at night.
Yeah.
Trying to read the rules.
But your general detection, you go through the whole lot. In fact, actually, early warning radar, you're able to spot more than one person as well on one flight as well. So I don't know. You can try top to bottom if you like.
We'll do it that way.
Sorry.
We'll do it that way. Yeah.
Okay, so it's 2d10. Your table B means you detect on a 10 or greater. There's some detection modifiers. 2 of which is about being on the deck, if the target is on the deck, and we're not on the deck, we're low. Whether they're in a chaff corridor or whether there's any standoff or spot jamming, which there aren't, of course. So there's no modifier here, it's just against a 10. So you just keep rolling through them.
You're in a rough. Are you in rough?
Yes, but I'm low altitude, so it doesn't matter.
No, right, sorry. Right, so, okay, top one, 105.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's zoom in for everybody. I can see.
9. Damn it.
9, you missed.
Yes. No, it isn't. No.
So we've got 2 here. We've got 108 and 109.
Are we doing both, yeah?
Yeah. Hang on, let's put them all on the right. They're all... There should be all level. Yeah, okay. So which one do you want to do first?
Well, do 108 then.
Okay.
15. Get
15. 108. Now, I just need to check on my hangar. That should be...
one of them could be a dummy.
Yes, they could be.
Yes, I've been sleeping with the rules, Tony. It's the only way to
That
get
is a dummy. Sorry. So I just take him off.
Right, so we do 109 now.
Yes.
10.
Yeah,
Good
that's
one.
just good enough. So he flips over.
But we
Okay.
still don't know what it is. It's just been detected. There's something there. We know something's there.
You know some aircraft are there, yes.
Yeah. Okay. 202.
202, yep.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's two here. There's 201, 407. Let's do them top to bottom. 407. No.
Okay.
And what's the other one? 201. Yes.
Okay, 208.
So I was just checking your one there. 208, here we go. Yes.
Some good rolls here. 204.
204. Yes. Well, I am B, so I've
yeah,
got
it's pretty good. You've got some. Got a lot of eyes out there.
Right, so
there's two here, 207 and 101.
We'll do 207.
Okay.
No.
101.
101. No.
Oh. And 106.
106. Come on. Yes.
Okay, so you spot all
these. Starting to happen now. We can see you. There's some blips coming over.
Right.
We don't know what they are.
Now, I believe your early warning radar is actually suppressed.
Where is it? I can't remember where it is now.
He's just south of Eisenach.
That means nothing to me.
Okay, sort of about 6 hex, right at the top, about 6, 7 hexes behind the front line on your side. There's a radar suppressed.
Oh, got him. Yeah, I've got.
So his radar should be off because.
Right, let me.
Yeah, you want to just turn his radar off. Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh. Doesn't say.
Should be radar on off.
Oh yeah, got it right at the bottom. That's me.
Yeah.
Right.
So
there we go.
So that early warning radar has been suppressed. Now normally it's got a range of 20 hexes or 10 hexes on the deck, and gets to roll to see if it can see things as well. So you don't have any of that, and you've got no aircraft for airborne radar. So that's all your detection you can do. Okay.
Okie dokie.
Right. Then let's move on to
movement.
The movement phase. Again, it's just me, so I can just move guys as I like. So let's. So when you move, to move one space costs you 1 MP.
Right.
If you want to climb, it costs you 1 MP. If you want to climb again during your turn, it costs you 2 MP. If you want to turn more than a small amount, which is dependent on how fast you're going, it will cost you 1 movement point. If you want to dive more than one level, that costs you a movement point. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, I'll show you this guy. This guy's going to move 1 up.
Which one?
201. He's moving forward.
Got him. Yeah.
That's 1 movement point. He's then going to climb for 2 movement points, and then move for 3 movement points. Okay.
Yep.
407 will move straight ahead. 1, 2, 3. 208 will move. He will climb and move ahead. These guys will move 2 ahead and climb. This guy will. He will climb twice. So he's now at high altitude. and then he will move for 1. So he's moved 4. Okay.
So that's dash 2, is he?
It depends on what aircraft it is, and whether it's clean or laden. It might have that amount of movement points. It doesn't necessarily need to go to dash to get that speed.
So a lot of things in this game, playing 2-player, is on trust, because I don't know if you're following your flight path. I don't know if you're behaving yourself with the type of aircraft you got.
Yeah, true. I suppose. Yeah, you that's true. Yeah. He's going to dive twice as well. Climb twice.
You dive into the ground. Go for it.
This guy will move 1, 2, 3 straight ahead. This guy will move 1, 2 and climb. This guy will move 1, 2, 3 straight ahead. He will move 1, climb again, and also move a 4. Okay. Also, there will be some more aircraft coming on. So,
shut up, Tony. Get sent to the naughty step if you carry on.
What's Tony doing?
He's saying he's talking about me reading them in bed, the rules, because I made that remark on the war room and nobody can make me forget it. He's saying I bet he's listening to Barry White music, and don't knock the White, okay? The B White, the man is the man, yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
No, I think
right. Is that so?
No, I haven't got his voice. I wish I had, Stig. I wish I had. My goodness, what a voice. I think he's just saying I'm listening to the music. Getting in the mood with my rules. I think he's being flippant.
So,
Right, meanwhile, back at the invasion.
So 1, 2, 3 here. 3 to there. There. So they come on as well. And they're on the deck.
So you have the advantage, sir, because I'm playing, first time, and I haven't got a clue about tactics.
Yeah, but you'll pick it up. Don't worry.
That's my planes crash and burn. Yeah.
I mean, at the moment, you can see a load of aircraft approaching from a long way, and your ground control intercept are going nuts about it.
Yeah.
At the moment, so
yeah.
Good. All right. So that's my movement, and from the movement we get the fuel phase. I mark down any fuel off my logs that I used.
So again, how do you do that? I know it doesn't apply to me yet, but
so on your flight log, you would have put down the amount of fuel they have. It's on the air data card, and then basically you uncheck one of those boxes.
Every time you move?
No, every time you either go dash throttle, or you are in air-to-air combat.
Right. So you haven't done any dash throttle yet, have you?
No.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't. For free, I haven't done any dashing and I haven't done any combat, so no.
Yeah, no, it makes sense because dashing means you're trying to evade or do something.
You're trying to go really fast. You basically put the afterburners on. Yeah. Okay, fuel phase done. SAM location phase. So there are no SAM warning markers, so I can't spot anything. I can't locate any SAMs. Track phase. Now this comes in because you've detected some guys. Yeah. So there is an evil twin of the detection table known as the track table, and that's here.
Yeah.
Now this is where Rough could lose detection on some of my units. So your detection level B. So you need to roll 2d10 on that table. Yep. Yeah, it's you losing track.
Right. Okie dokie. All right. Yeah.
I would lose your guys. I would roll to lose your guys. Yeah.
So 2d10. What do we do? 109 go down
No,
like
no, no,
this?
no. This is just one roll.
Oh, that's right. It's all the suits, isn't it?
Yes, this is where the suits come in on the
18.
18. That's a good. Okay, that is a green diamond. So any aircraft with a green diamond on, and there's a few of those, now become undetected. So this guy flips back over. So does he.
So when you said it was a good roll, it's a good roll for you.
Actually, well, the higher is usually the better, but there's the smattering of results higher up, and you just happen to have hit one of those. So generally, higher is better.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. There's a sort of like catch you out if you throw high or very low.
Yeah. So those. Also, there was a sort of standing. There's a sort of standing rule on losing track, and that is all NATO flights that are on the deck in rough become undetected, and all detected flights, not just NATO flights, at the deck in or adjacent to a mountain hex, which is the dark grey. The rough is the light beige. The mountain is the dark beige. Then they become undetected as well. So you can kind of terrain following kind of thing. Anyway, irrespective of the dice roll. But we haven't got any of that, so that's fine. That's all done. So now we go to, we've done the track face, that was it. So it's a dice roll on each side, that's all. We have SAM acquisition phase, so do any of your SAMs want to try?
Hold on.
You haven't turned anybody on, so you could only try and do a quick acquisition, which is turn the radar on immediately and then try and acquire in the same phase.
But I don't think still, let me just...
Also with SAMs, there is what's known as an acquisition range, which is when you can acquire a target. However, you do have an attack range as well, which may not be the same number, which is the limit that you can actually fire a missile and it will go to that target.
So, for instance, I've got SA-15s, and they have an acquisition of 6, but the ones with the missiles are 16.
That doesn't sound right.
Is the ACQ, or does that mean something else?
Yeah, so the 15s, they have an acquisition range of, well, according to this, they have an acquisition range of 8. Oh, that's interesting.
This is the SA-15 Tor. Have I got the wrong one out?
Yeah. Well, the card seems wrong. So the 16 is the number of shots they have.
Right.
Here it says the acquisition range is an 8, not a 6. Their attack range is at on the bottom of the matrix.
Yeah.
Little spreadsheet. So you've got, for the 15, you've got a 0, 3, and 4.
Hold on. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So 4 is the maximum range. But the acquisition range on the card is wrong. According to the data table, it should be an 8. But its actual attack range is 4.
Yeah.
Note also, because you've got the 0, 3, and 4 table, 3 and 4 hex ranges were known as long range, and you get penalties.
Yeah.
As well, okay.
Depending on your altitude, yeah.
Depending on altitude, usually it's worse than 0, 1. 0, 1, and 2 is your normal range, so you do the 0 chart.
Yeah.
3 is on the 3 hex range is on the 3 chart. 4 is on the 4 chart.
Right. So that means now I've got to go through, because I reckon the big charts in the game are correct, and check the cards.
Has Tony been drinking?
Probably.
You haven't turned anyone on. No, it's I haven't turned anyone, but I don't think Rough hasn't turned anybody on.
Yeah. He's had a pop at me, so now he's having a go at you now.
Oh, right. I think it was me telling you you haven't turned anyone on rather than myself. So it might be just me saying it, and you haven't turned anyone on as opposed to you. So
yeah.
Yes, yeah. Welcome to the Blue Innuendo channel.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So I need to check with the charts
yeah.
in the game against the cards now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you need to particularly worry too much about the SAM cards because it's nice. The actual table for the SAMs is actually nicely laid out. It's actually very useful.
Right. Okay.
But anyway, I mean, you can if you like, but it just looks like that number is wrong.
Right.
Your acquisition of 8. So again, I don't think because you haven't got any radars on, I think you might as well wait for the admin phase and turn any radars on you want to do to acquire next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy your sherry.
Somebody's
Mr.
drinking
Field
sherry.
No, there's he's raiding the leftovers from the new year, so he's getting the sherry out.
Fair enough.
He's a Brit, so that's what we drink.
Apparently, Eisenach is where has a castle where Martin Luther went into hiding during the Reformation. All right. Oh well. Oh, there you go.
Oh.
Thanks. Who was it? J Field. Thanks for that.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
So, have we got past the acquisition yet? We doing any acquisition?
I don't know. This is the quick turn on, isn't it? So no.
All right. So we're on to the admin phase. This is where you can turn radars on if you want to.
Properly, without any.
Yeah, because you do SAM acquisition during the turn, so this is getting them ready, turning them on to start scanning, and then when you get to the next acquisition turn, you won't have a penalty.
Right. So let me get out. I don't know where the SAM thing is. Out the box,
it's the inside of player A2. So it's inside the detection and track table.
Right, I'll put those away then in case there's any more. Right, that might be better then. Good-o, right. So the acquisition is that doesn't apply now, does it? I'm just switching them on.
Yes. So it's not acquisition. This is, do you flick the switch and turn the radars on or not?
To get them ready to pick up this.
Then during the next acquisition phase, they could start to acquire without any penalties.
What is their? Oh, that is the acquisition range then, isn't it?
Yes, that's as far as their radar goes. So if I'm not that close, then there's no point.
It's a 15. No, I think I'll leave it again.
Okay.
It's probably making. But yeah.
Okay, so admin phase.
I'll switch them on. You'll know they're there.
Right, I've put another dummy on.
Oh, I see. You put it. All right, won't look. Hold on.
It's all right. I've done it already.
All right, but you put those on. You don't put them on all at once, then.
Yeah, but remember, you spotted one of my dummies last turn, so he's now available to be replaced.
Oh, they don't run out.
No, they're always there, and the only restriction is you can't place it with a flight that's already been identified or detected. Yeah.
Yep, right. Learning something every minute.
Well, hopefully.
Thank you, James. Yeah, grab.
So just for a minute, I'm just going to put my hangar on the main screen, just so people can kind of look and see what aircraft I actually have.
All right, I'm on my own one. I can't. That's fine. I can't see anything.
Okay. So these are the guys I actually have as aircraft flights. So they actually have their designations on them. So that will give you an idea of what's coming in. The colour is a nationality thing. So I think, for example, light blue is American. I think tan is UK. Grey is Federal Republic of Germany. I think it's orange is Netherlands.
They've got the little. If you look, they've got like a
green
little
is
water.
Belgian. And yeah, I can't remember the others.
You don't need to. You've just got their little watermark behind it. Because I'm colour. These colours mean nothing to me.
Oh, that's true. But yeah, there's a watermark as well. But for everybody to know, yes, star for American, etc. So yeah, on the Warsaw Pact side, they could either be Soviet or they could be East German aircraft.
Yeah.
Anyway, just information for you guys. So you might.
Yeah, the watermarks are a little hard to see on the
what
Vassal
aircraft
thing.
I actually have coming on here. Okay. Stigger says there's the cat and mouse of anti-radiation missiles for the attacker. Yes, anti-radiation missiles indeed. We may well see those at some point. Good. Admin phase done. We're on to turn 3.
Okay.
Random event. Off you go.
Oh, right. Okay. Shall I roll?
Yeah. You go for it. 2d10.
14.
Direction finding. Roll 1d10 again.
Yep.
This is who it affects.
Right, it is a 4.
A 4, which is Warsaw Pact. That player chooses one enemy SAM warning marker with its radar on and automatically locates it. So I haven't got anything with a SAM.
You haven't got anything turned on?
No, there's no SAM warning markers there for you to be able to locate. So this is the SAM location. So you just get you get a free one if there's something available to see.
But I don't.
No.
Oh,
well, there's no point. You've got no aircraft. So what's the point of me having my?
Yes, quite true.
My
quite true.
Right. So no effect effectively. Again, quite often there's no effect on the random events. No jamming. Over to detection. You again. So
sorry,
ignore the guys.
Every time you say jamming, I keep thinking Stevie Wonder. Sorry.
Yeah. So don't bother rolling for the guys you have already have already detected. So that's 208, 204, and 106. You roll for all the others. And again,
right,
it's 10 or more.
At the top there, 105. He's turned over.
105, yep.
109. Yep.
Yep.
And at the front here, 407. Yep.
He is a dummy.
Oh. 201.
Yep.
No. 202. Yep. There's 2 there, isn't there? 108 and 302. We'll do 108.
Yep.
Yes. 10 or more, isn't it?
That is a dummy.
Oh.
Actually, no, it's not 10 or more. These aircraft, actually, I'll put him back. These guys are on the deck. And when you're on the deck, you get a negative. So if it's a Warsaw Pact or NATO flight at deck, it is, for NATO, it's -2. So there's a -2 on the dice to spot these guys. So you didn't spot him.
Nothing there then. Right, okay.
302.
302. That's on the deck as well.
Yeah.
11. No, that's going to be fine. Right. 304.
Yep.
He's on the deck as well. No, 10. What we got here? We've got 301. He's on the deck.
Yep.
Yep. That's better. 14.
Yep.
We'll do 101.
Yep.
There. No.
Definitely not.
No. 207. 11. He's okay, yeah. He turns over. He's high, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one on the deck. 307.
Yeah.
Come on, nice high
-2.
one. Yes.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Early warning still out of action, so that's done. That's all the detection. It's then movement phase again. So
right.
Right. I need to be careful of these now. So. 3, 4, 4.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to go and get another drink of fizzy.
Sure.
There we go. Right. Have you done?
Not quite. 1. Climb. 2.
It sure is. Sure is. They're coming in fast.
Right. 1. Climb. Climb again. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 4. 7, 1. 2, 3. Now what I did there was I did a turn. So when you move a movement point, you have the ability to do a free turn. Yeah. But the angle at which you turn, the maximum angle at which you can turn, is dependent on your speed. So if you look at player aid card 1, the front of it.
Yeah, the turntable, that's right.
Turntable there. So depending on what speed you are, it'll give you, ignore night because we're not on night. So it gives you an angle for a free turn per movement point.
Yep.
So, this guy went 4. So therefore, he had a 60-degree turn free in each movement spot. He did a 30-degree twice over his 4 movement points. That was fine. If you want to go any further, then you need to use a movement point to do the turn, and also you've got a maximum as well.
Yeah, hold on. I thought that I've obviously read that wrong. Then the free turn in the day, in this case, is 60.
Yes. So I don't have to use 60. 30 is fine. So that's a limit for free.
Every movement point.
Every movement point that you move, you actually move. You get a free turn of up to 60 degrees at speed 4.
Right, gotcha. Right,
okay. If you're at speed 5, it's 30 degrees. Yeah. Yeah.
And chucking along, nothing. You can't turn because your wings will fall off.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm moving on to that hex side. I'm doing this kind of for illustrative purposes. So I've moved to a hex side with this guy. Now I'm going to turn.
Which one?
108. If you look at 108, I've just moved him forward.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so he's in a hex side. But now I'm going to turn.
Yeah, now something weird happened. You have to move across to the hex.
So what you do is you actually slide into that hex. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's done 1, 2.
It is a weird way of moving, isn't it?
3.
Until you get used to it.
2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. He'll actually turn 3. In fact, this guy will turn and go 3.
I think I'm going to start. I'm going to start a campaign.
Yeah.
For all Vassal modules to have all the counters clipped, because it does my head in looking at these.
Oh, really? That's a little severe.
I'm just doing that to wind certain people up.
Okay. See if Stigler changes his Vassal modules and actually rounds the corners. Yeah, not likely. Right. Okay, so that's my movement. Fuel. And then track. So rolling on the track table, on column B for you to lose some of my guys.
Yeah, I don't know. Tony's made. I know he's made a flippant remark, but I don't know how interesting this is for people to watch. I'm watching because I'm seeing you grip. You know, is it interesting? I don't know.
Well, I think the fact that we're not immediately into. One more thing I note, in this game, the scale of this game, each turn is 1 minute.
Yeah.
So
I know. Yeah.
But it will get. I mean, once things come together, it will explode, literally. Anyway, there we go.
Yeah.
So track table.
Interesting point. Right. Track table.
Stigler says he doesn't round or bevel the edges. Okay.
I think you should, Stig. I think you should.
Yes, very civilized, isn't it?
I'm hoping that the people, 18 people still watching this, find it interesting. Of course, if they want to learn the game, which is why I'm grateful for Tweezer.
And what I don't want to do is just go through the rules and just blitz everybody. And firstly, I'd probably get a few of the finer points wrong, but I just want to sort of learn as you play, kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's great for me. Yeah. You know, it's very selfish of me, but it's great. And I'm hoping
it'll either put people to sleep or they'd go crazy. They'd be droning on. Good. We need a track roll.
So we need a 2d10. Here we go.
2d10.
We get
a 5. A 5 is a green diamond again. So green diamonds.
I need to throw 12 to 15, don't I? I'm very high. So it's not in a curly bracket, so it doesn't apply. You can't apply to flights on the deck.
No, but there's a general NATO one about decks. So 301 also flips over because I'm in rough.
Yes, which one?
208 flips over because there is rough below him. Oh no, he's. What am I talking about? He's at high altitude. That's it, I think. Yes, that's all.
Okay.
Good stuff. Right, that's track. Now it's SAM location. I can't see any of you. Oh, sorry, we should have done SAM location. I got it wrong way around, but there's no SAM warning markers for me to do anything about. So track phase, now it's your SAM acquisition, but you still haven't got any radars open.
So let me look. Excuse me. There's no point. I can't acquire anything yet.
No, so yeah, absolutely. Okay, so and admin. So now you can turn on some radars, if you like.
No.
Let's look at my hangar. So
I think we'll wait.
Okay. Dummy's done. That's it, ready? Yep. So turn 4. How are we doing for time? We'll go one more. We'll go one more.
One more. Okay.
Yeah. Random event phase.
All right. Okay. I like that. 2 dice. Here we go. Let's see if it's something good. Relevant. 13.
Mechanical failure.
Oh.
So this isn't going to matter. So it's if there are damaged aircrafts or crippled aircraft, then they'll, something bad will happen to them. But there aren't any of those. So there's no.
Right. Okay.
There is no. There is no mechanical failure.
So we're jamming next.
No, we're not jamming. We ain't jamming.
Well,
there's no jammers.
I like jamming too.
On to detection.
Right. So let's get rid of.
What
are you doing?
Sorry, yeah, just organising my guys. Fine. So who are you going to go for first?
We'll go from the top. We can't do 105, so we'll go to 407. Yep. Got 2 there. 2 dice, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're high. 9, no. And
109?
9. Yes. Tell me that's the dummy.
Nope.
Oh, right. We're coming down. That'll be 201.
Yep.
Yes. 202. Yes.
Hang on, just want to check something here.
So it's a good idea to have as many detected as possible and keep them highly detected, rather than and to keep them tracked.
Yeah.
304.
He's at -2, so it's a fail.
Yeah, no, he's no good. Coming down 302. No. We'll do 108. These are all on the deck, aren't they? 12 -2 is 10. That's detected.
108. Let me just check. That's a dummy.
Well, be gone then.
Yeah, sorry, just organise my screens. Yep.
301.
Yep. -2.
No.
No.
10. What's that?
101.
101. 101.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't done that yet. Right. That's high. Okay. That's detected. And lastly, 307. Yeah. No, he's on the deck. No. There we go.
Right, actually, I just
Off
need
you
to
move.
check something. I might have done something wrong here.
Hold on. Oh, bloody turn 8. Just looking at me,
sorry,
EWR.
207 is a dummy. I got it wrong. Sorry. Take him back. Hey.
And my EWR is still suppressed until turn blooming 8.
Yes. Yeah. So you can't spot with anything else. You can't detect with anything else. Good. So now it's movement phase.
Movement. Oh, they're coming near.
So get my cards
out. So I've just seen Camp's comment. Oh, if I only wish.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and the people, and yeah, Peter, and people with OCD will go bonkers. Yeah. Oh no! Don't put nibs on them. Oh crikey! That would do me in. Don't you dare, Stig.
Come on, then, probably 1.
Okay, Stig, you've got to go. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks, mate. It's
Yeah,
been
cheers.
Good. Yeah.
Right. Oh, here. Right, that's it. That's my movement. Fuel. Didn't use any. SAM location phase. Can't see any SAM warning. Track phase.
Right, here we go again. 4.
A 4? Wow. That's hearts.
2d10. That's hearts, yeah.
And none of the deck guys you can see anyway, so that's fine. Right, admin phase.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Can't acquire anything still, so no, I can't. No, you're too far away still, I think.
Oh, no, can't do that one.
Oh, hold on. No, it's too far away.
Damn, no, not there. These move markers.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, I'm turning one on.
Oh, okay. So you need to, on the board, visible, you need to put in a SAM warning marker.
on top of that. Do I turn it on? Do I turn the counter on?
You'll turn the counter on, but you won't put it on the board. You'll put a
It's
SAM warning marker on the. If it's already on the board, then yeah, just put a.
No.
Yes,
It's invisible. It's invisible.
Right. So all you do is you put a SAM warning marker with the radar on that counter.
SAM warning. So what's that under? That's markers.
SAM warning.
Yeah, it's trying to find out where all these are.
Now I think. No.
Yeah.
So actually, let me see. I'm trying to remember back to Lucid Victory. There was something special about this. Let me have a quick look at. Let's put that on. No, it's not the same. SAM warning. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's under WP ground.
Hold on.
SAM radar section. There's a SAM warn counter.
It's under markers, yeah?
No, it's under WP ground.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, yeah. And it's WP ground, yeah.
Yeah, then under SAM/radar, there's a SAM warning marker.
Ah, gotcha. Right, and that goes on.
Cheers, Brun. Thanks for popping in.
Oh, Brun, you're okay. Thanks, my friend.
So, did you?
Oh no,
have you placed
no.
it?
I think you were saying ciao to Stig.
No, I already said Brun's going as well. I think Brun's going. I think. Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you later then.
Yeah. Have you got the counter? You found it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you place it wherever you're.
I thought I had just now. What have I done?
I can't see it.
Oh. What happened to it then?
Don't know. Just place it again.
There we are. Just under Meiningen.
Still can't see it.
It's there.
What? Where the armor is?
No, it's on top of my invisible.
I can't see it.
Can you see Meiningen?
Yes.
And underneath that, there's nothing, yeah?
Underneath? You mean in the hex?
In the hex below that word.
So we're talking about hex number 6132, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, it's nothing there. I can't see anything.
I can see a SAM warning. Do I have to?
Have you put it on the map or on your planning map?
That's on the map, on my map.
Okay, has it got an invisible?
It has, component? But now it's invisible.
Yeah, I can't see it at all. I'll put one on.
Hold on, let me get rid of it then. Hold on.
Actually, I can't put one of yours on.
Well, I've deleted it, so there's nothing there now. I'm grabbing another one. Can you see if I just put it on the map? I'll put it right at the top. I'll put it next to your planes. You see that?
Near my planes? No,
yeah.
I don't see a thing.
Oh, I'll just drag it. Why is that then? I wonder.
That's very odd.
SAM warn, yeah, on, yeah.
Very strange. Let me grab one of mine.
I'll just delete that.
And I'm going to put my one on folder. Can you see it?
Next to the airfield closed?
Yeah.
No, nothing there. Strange, isn't it?
that's annoying.
Might be a glitch in the old Azure Father. It's saying it's been created and put on the map and all that sort of thing.
I can see, yeah.
Yeah, weird, isn't it?
So it looks like there's a fault in
the
program. Okay, what do we do about that? Use one of the other markers, I suppose. Then, so something.
So
like
the weird thing is, it's still invisible,
even though it's visible.
Even though it's invisible, you know it's been turned on, or there's a warning that there's a sound coming on. Yeah.
Can you see that marker? NATO detect in folder.
No, there's nothing in folder.
You can't see NATO detect either.
No.
Oh, Jesus. Let's. Oh, hang on.
What?
I think no. I think I've disconnected.
Oh.
My Vassal's disconnected.
That would explain it. Viewers can see it on folder. I'm just looking on the thing. It's
they can see it because they're looking at my screen, but my screen isn't linked to you. So let me, and it's not connect. I got a connection refused.
Well, pay your bill.
I'm going to drop out and back in. What we might do is we might hold it here anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, rather than bore everybody while we're trying to resolve what the hell my Vassal module is doing. So I'll save it on my side anyway.
Right, so when we come back, we've just got to finish that admin phase off.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. So we're on the turn 4 admin. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, okay. Let's pop out to the chat. Sorry about those guys. But,
with these things happen.
Usual things. Yeah, you'll be able to see it because you're seeing my map. But my map's not actually linked to Rough. So when Rough puts something on, I don't see it. And when I put something on, Rough doesn't see it.
Biggie Berkey.
So, yeah. So anyway, we'll hold it there because it's getting quite late here anyway. And we've done 2 hours. And hopefully that's a bit of an introduction to Red Storm. Although not a lot of action so far. But you have seen some of the basic things like movement and detection, which is a huge part of the game anyway. But yeah, that's it there. So post any other questions? What do you think so far, Ruff?
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's still all very foggy inside, and it's going to be, isn't it? And I'm probably going to not play a very good game just because it's a very crunchy.
Well, I'll be providing you options and what you could do and things like that as they come along, rather than try and just blind you with science. So
no, it is a crunchy game, but I can see why people love it, and I love my aircraft. So and
again, this sort of hidden thing produces a kind of tension, really. So you can see some aircraft coming at you, but you don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're there for. You don't know where they're going. You just see this aircraft and go, Christ, let's do something about this.
And they're breaking off well. So I think
yes. So there's a bit of there's a bit of manoeuvre that's going on there. And remember that only bombers have to stay on a flight path.
And I'm thinking they must be the bombers if you've got anywhere. Could be wrong.
Yeah.
Because they've deviated, towards the southern part of my stuff there. So we'll see. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I just hope it's not. I mean, because nothing's happening, I'm watching and learning and seeing what you're doing and trying to figure out what's going on. Hope it's the same for everybody watching. I suppose if they want to learn the game, they've got to, you've got to sit and watch this sort of thing. It's great. But no, it's great. I'm not knocking it. It's good.
Okay. Well, anyway, hopefully that has been interesting for everybody, and we'll crack on with this next week. So hopefully you'll be able to join us as well. So a pincer movement. Well,
yes, what's going on, Jimmy? I don't know what's going on.
It's not quite how it works with the air combat, but yeah. On the ground, it would look like that. This is more about getting into positions and things like that where you want to cover. But yeah, good. So thanks again for everybody popping in.
Yeah,
thank
you.
Come and have a look, and we shall be doing more of this in a week's time. Rough. Everybody will probably see you again on Saturday with the War Room, I suppose.
And again, I've got to thank you for doing this, because if you're part of the War Room vlog, and you know that to me, Jester and Tony have given our top 10 games that we're going to play. Well, not top 10 games, 10 games we're going to play this year.
Yes.
And we've encouraged the people in the chat to do the same, because if they complete all their 10, they will get a prize at the end of the year, or go in for a draw for a prize. So this is one of my games that I said I was going to play this year, and I can already...
And one of mine.
Yeah, there you go. See, we've both ticked one off. Brilliant.
Brilliant.
So yeah, it's good. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking with us. Yeah, thanks, Cam.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you all next week. No, you
just come in and you've missed everything. Oh.
Yeah. Oh
dear, oh dear, oh dear. Just bad timing, very bad timing. Which is in air combat, bad timing is a very bad thing to have.
Yeah, but God bless you for turning up.
Yeah, thanks anyway.
Yeah.
Well, wind it back and have a look at what we've been doing. But until next time, we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Okay, bye for now.